YouTube, thank you, Koi Boy, for the follow. We are talking about content creation and how to turn. Ooh, yuck. Hi. Sorry, y'all. Thank you for being so patient with me while I fix this. Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right, so we are talking about content creation, how to turn content creation into your 9 to 5 so that you can make the type of content that you want to create, so you can live the life that you want to live, so that you can feel free, so that you can do what truly makes you happy, so you can feel good, so you can be confident and all of the things. Good morning. Hi, YouTube. Welcome, welcome. So we were talking about, I should have wrote everything down that we said. Number one, for those of you guys who just came in, my name is Jasmine. I have been a full-time content creator for 4.5 years. I am on Instagram. I am on TikTok. I am on Threads. I am on YouTube. And I have an email list, okay? So I have been a content creator for 4.5 years, full-time, meaning that's how I pay my bills, that's how I eat, that's how I support my lifestyle, all of the things. On Instagram, I'm at 110,000 followers. On TikTok, we're at 8,000 almost. Threads, I'm at like 25,000. YouTube, I have 30,000. And I think that's it. I think that's it. If I missed one, let me know. But I think that's it. Okay, so first we talked about choosing a niche and choosing something that is true to you. So I said that it's really important, like whatever niche you choose, it has to be something that you would do for free, okay? Why do I say that it has to be something that you would do for free? It has to be something that you would do for free because you have to be consistent with creating content. Whatever it is that you're trying to do in life, not just creating content, but literally anything that you do, you have to be consistent. You won't reach the level of success that you want to reach if you're not consistent, okay? So for me, it's weight loss, fitness, motivation, inspiration. That's what's true to me, and that's how I'm able to do it every single day because I really do enjoy those topics. For you, it could be interior design, right? It could be I don't know, arts and crafts. Like whatever is true to you, whatever you love to do, that's what you need to base your content around. But also don't think that you only can do that. Okay? Like that's not true. So just because the premise of my content is weight loss, fitness, motivation, that doesn't mean that that's only what I'm allowed to do. Like don't put yourself in a box. Like feel free to still do other stuff, but at the same time I want you guys to make sure you're doing stuff that you actually like to do. You get what I'm saying? Because if you don't like to do it, then you're not going to do it every day. Like, so for instance, for me, I don't like makeup, so I'm not going to make a makeup channel. Okay, like me making a makeup channel would make no sense because I don't wear makeup like that. I don't really know how to do all the eyebrows and the lashes. Like I used to love that stuff, but I don't do that anymore. So therefore that's not true to me. So that's not something that I would create a channel on because that's not something that I even do every day without the cameras, okay? But because I do work out all the time, because I am on a weight loss journey, because I am on a mental health journey, that's stuff that I really do every single day. So it's that much easier to make content about it, all right? But that doesn't mean that you can't do stuff like that. So if I decided one day, oh, I'm gonna do makeup, just to see how I can do it, I most definitely could make a video. Good morning. I definitely could make a video doing makeup. I'm not gonna put myself in a box, but still just understand that you gotta do stuff that you like to do, okay? So that's number one. Number two, we said when it comes to creating content that you have to, what's been the hardest part of your weight loss journey so far? Well, since I've been on a weight loss journey for like 2.5 years, I feel like I've gotten over the hump of the most challenging things. But I would say, the hardest thing? Just being patient with your body. Just being patient and just loving how far you've come. What made you break through the fear, hesitation of becoming consistent on posting? Oh, we was actually just about to get into it. Perfect kisses. That's perfect. So when it comes to being consistent, that's why I said you want to choose content that you actually really like to create. That's the biggest thing. Whatever it is that you would do for free, that's probably where your heart is, right? So if you like to do hair, like maybe you would do hair for free because you just love doing hair, you probably should make a channel if you're doing YouTube or whatever about hair and different styles and things like that, because you love it so much that you would do it for free, right? So whatever you would do for free, that lets you know how much you really love what it is that you do, right? And then when it comes to fear and hesitation, we talked about not worrying about what people are gonna say. This is our life to live, you guys. We only get one life, so it's important that we only focus on what we love for ourselves. So we're no longer gonna worry about what our family's gonna say. We're no longer gonna worry about what our friends are gonna think, right? We've done enough of that already in 2024. We've been doing that for so long. Now we're gonna focus on us and what makes us happy and what makes us fulfilled, right? And I'm here to tell you guys that the people that you're the most worried about, they're actually gonna be the ones that admire you the most, because you are stepping out of your box, you're stepping out of your shell, and you're doing something and having the courage to do something that you really love to do that they wish they had the courage to do. Do you know how many people want to be content creators? Like seriously, like you guys are on the live right now. Like there are so many people who want to create content but don't have the courage to do it. Like they don't even have the courage to make the account. Like they might want to be a YouTuber so bad, but they're so fearful that they haven't even made an account, right? And you're worried about what someone who is living in fear thinks about you and what they're gonna say about you. The math ain't mathin'. Please break it down, because I'm not understanding. And listen, I want you to understand, I used to feel that way too. So I don't want you guys to think that it's, oh, like, who cares? I used to feel that way too. But the more you do something, you guys, and the more locked in you get and the more excited you get about your progress, the less you stop worrying about what so-and-so is gonna think and what so-and-so is gonna say about you making content. It's your life. Perfectly put, but I have a few things I'm great at and would do for free, and trying to see if I should put it all on one channel or create multiple channels. What are those things? Tell me what those things are, babe. Let's talk about it. Tell me what those things are. Let's talk about it. Let's dissect it, shall we? Let's dissect it. Let's talk about it. So we talked about finding things that you would do for free as your niche, right? Because listen. One thing, and I know I've talked about this on YouTube for sure. One thing, the biggest thing, you guys, is what you don't want to do is chase virality, okay? You don't want to chase virality, because what's going to happen is, let's say you make a piece of content because it's trending and you go viral, right? So you're so excited to go viral, and you attract a lot of followers or subscribers, depending on what platform you're on. You attract a lot of followers based off of that viral video. They followed you because they liked that video. Well, now you have to produce more of that video, because that's why they followed you in the first place, right? So remember, in order to make money on these platforms, it's about retention. It's not about how many followers you have. It's not about how many subscribers you have. That's why on YouTube, if you've looked, I'm sure you have seen where there are YouTubers who have hundreds and thousands of subscribers. But when they post a video, it's 2,000 people that watched, or it might be 5,000 people that watched. And you can have another channel of people, or another channel that has way fewer subscribers, who's pulling those same views, okay? So it's not about how many people are following the channel or who are subscribed to the channel. It's about the community that you build. It's about interacting with people, talking to people. Those are the people who are watching your videos, all right? So I want people to stop being so obsessed with the follower count or the subscriber count, thinking that, well, if I don't have 10 million YouTube subscribers and I'm not gonna make good money. That's not true at all. That is not true at all. Okay, so we need to get that out of our head. So Perk Kisses said hair, motivation, and faith, and cooking. Okay. Well, you have a good mix of stuff that you really, really like to do. So why don't you start with one channel, right? Start with one channel and just do a mix of all of them. While you're doing your hair, I do this with my weight loss stuff. While you're doing hair and cooking, you could talk about motivational stuff. To have conversation, hi Richard, to have conversation while you're doing your cooking or while you're doing the hair. Like you could talk about what's on your mind. I do that all the time with my fitness content, like all the time. I have car rides as I'm driving to the gym and I'm literally just talking about what's on my mind. And people love that. People love that. People love to feel motivated. People love to feel inspired. So that's what I would start. That's what I would do. While you're doing hairstyles, while you're doing your cooking, have a topic in mind of what you want to talk about, something motivational or something about your faith or whatever. And while you're doing that activity, you talk about it. So now you've incorporated all that stuff into one video. Look at that. That is going to be dope. Let me know what you think about that. So we talked about finding a niche, but not being too like closed with it, right? Like you're still gonna do other things. I don't think that because you're a cooking channel, you can only do cooking, like you can't do anything else. That's not true at all. That's not true. So, don't be so like closed with it, right? I have a channel with 5,300 subscribers. Okay, not this profile. But the channel has been dormant and don't know if I should start from scratch. OMG, love this idea. You just start posting again. Wake them up. Just wake them up. Literally just wake them up. Just wake them up. Like just start pushing the content out. And you, on top of that, you'll also start attracting new subscribers to you, right? So that too. The next thing, thank you so much. The next thing I want you guys to think about when it comes to creating content is not overthinking it. So we get in our own heads. And I know on YouTube I have said this, like, y'all, I feel like I'm in my head right now. I want to do this, but I don't know. Da, da, da. We can't overthink stuff no more. What I have found in my years of creating content, the content that I didn't overthink, that I just posted, like literally just posted, was the content that actually did the best. Like as crazy as that sounds. And the content that I spent the most amount of time on, like literally the most amount of time on, like trying to edit, trying to get the right angles, trying to make sure the sunlight was hitting where it needed to hit, like literally spent the most amount of time on. That was the content that nobody even watched. Like I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. She said, I'm a chronic overthinker. I'm going to say it was because I rebuke it. Yes, listen, don't overthink it anymore. Like we're not doing that. Like you are literally holding yourself up when you do all that overthinking stuff. You are literally holding yourself up. So we're not doing that anymore moving forward. Like I just want you to post. And let me tell you guys this. I want y'all to think about something. And I used this analogy once before. Think about the first time you tried to walk. You probably don't even remember. But there was a period in your life, believe it or not, where you couldn't walk, right? You fell a million times. You probably hurt yourself, scraped your knee, whatever. Your parents had to pick you up and encourage you to keep trying. Now today, you don't even think about it because you've been walking for so many years that you don't even think about falling. You don't think about hurting yourself. You literally just get up and walk like it's nothing. You don't even think about it. That same mentality applies to everything that you do. The reason why you're so afraid to do something is because you just haven't done it yet. You just haven't done it yet. But the more times that you do it, the less you're gonna think about it, to the point where it just feels so natural, okay? The reason why I can make content every day and not think about it anymore is because I literally make content every day. So it's gotten to the point where I don't think about it. Because that's just, I have so many repetitions of doing it. I'm new to this channel. I enjoy working with my dog in my profile pic and a few things. Guess it's time for me to take inventory. Glad I came across your channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the more you do something, you guys, the easier it's gonna get and you're not even gonna think about it anymore. Some of you guys are so focused on the fact that you are afraid of what people are going to say, or you want your piece of content to be perfect. but you haven't even posted it yet. But the more you post it, the more you just post, the easier it's gonna get, to the point where you're not even gonna think about it anymore. Just like the analogy of walking, or if you're reading, like think about the first time you tried to read. Okay? You probably can't even remember that, right? But there was a period in your life where you could not read a full sentence without stumbling over the words, trying to sound it out, or not even understanding what you just said, right? But through repetition, over and over and over again, now you read and don't even realize that you're reading. You don't even think about it. The same applies with creating content. We have got to get out of our head and stop overthinking this process, because you are holding your own happiness up. There is a life for you out here where you're not stressed about going to work. You don't feel miserable about it. You no longer have anxiety in your life. And I'm saying these things because how I was feeling. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. But every morning I would get up stressed, anxious, wondering, like, Lord, what are they gonna say to me today? Right? What are they going to get me with today? Right? I would be praying on the drive, like, Lord, we only got 2 more days until Friday. I used to work Monday through Friday. I'll be like, Lord, tomorrow's Friday. Like, just help me get to tomorrow. Please, Lord, like, please. Like, that's literally how I used to live my life every single day for 6 years. Every single day. I don't even know, like, reflecting back on that and telling you guys the story today, I don't even know how I got through that. Like, by the grace of God. But what I'm telling you is, there is a life outside of that for you where it's not like that, okay? Perp said, I used to be locked in years ago. Life started lifing and kind of hard to get back in the groove. It's the procrastination for me. Listen, let me tell you something about procrastination. When it comes to procrastinating, I want you to ask yourself, are you procrastinating because you don't really like what it is you're doing? Or are you procrastinating because you're overthinking and you want everything to be perfect? Because sometimes when we overthink, we overwhelm ourselves. And then when you overwhelm yourself, you don't get anything done, right? So I want you to ask yourself that and try to figure out what is causing the procrastination. And then sometimes the reason why you're procrastinating is because you think you want to do a certain thing, but deep down inside, you really don't, right? But the only way you're going to know if it's something you really want to do is by doing it. Because let me give you an example. I thought I wanted to be a nurse. Listen, I did. I thought I wanted to be an RN. I did. I was like, oh, wow, RNs, like, they're held on this level of statute, and, you know, they make all this money, and everyone loves a nurse. Like, they're so honorable and commendable, right? So I thought I wanted to be a nurse. Like, I shadowed a nurse. I shadowed a nurse. And it was after her shift that I realized, yeah, girl, no ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. But how would I have known if I didn't try, right? So sometimes you think you want to do something, you want to do a certain genre, but until you try it and get going a few times and see what it really entails, you might discover that that's just not really something you want to do. Like, you thought you wanted to do it, it looks cool, but then when you actually do it, like when you put your hands on it, it's like, yeah, no, this is not the niche for me. I can definitely relate to procrastination aspect because it's been my experience too. Yeah. So think about that. Ask yourself, is it something that I really want to do? You know? And that's why I said, like, write a list of things that you like. Like, list a whole bunch of stuff. Like, list every single thing that comes to mind. And then slowly pick away at that list. Okay, you tried the week of this. Yeah, you don't like that. Okay, you tried some of this. Yeah, you don't like that. Well, then you'd be like, okay, well, I tried this, and this is pretty fun. Or, you know, like, you gotta try. It's trial and error, you know? It's trial and error. You know, like I said, I tried to do hair for my YouTube when I first started YouTube. I don't like hair. That didn't work out. Okay? So you're going to have to try a lot of different stuff and see what you want to do, right? I don't like to edit. That's one thing I don't like to do. That's one thing I learned about myself. So I like my videos to have minimal edits. If you ever watch my weight loss and fitness channel, I'm the creator that just likes to just go. And whatever the camera captures is just what it captures. Like, I'm not really jump cutting. I'm not really doing all that, right? But that works for me. That works for me. And people who watch, they love that for me. You might be someone who loves to edit. You might be that YouTuber or whatever with the drone going on, and that might really be you. Like, you might start editing stuff and realize how much you love to edit, and you are that person that's gonna like do all that fancy stuff because you just really love to do it. And that doesn't make it a bad thing, right? But that's the beauty of content creation, because you literally get to pick and choose like how much of what you want to put into something, right? So that's why we can't overthink stuff. And then another thing I want us to get out of the habit of is saying, oh, I'm not good at this. If I see someone, one more person say they're not good at a particular thing, I swear to God, I'm gonna come through the phone and just shake you. Because it's not that you're not good at it, it's just you haven't done enough reps at it, okay? I used to say I'm not good at editing. I used to say that all the time. It's not that I'm not good at editing, it's just that I haven't put in the hours to be an exceptional editor, right? If I was to put in all of the hours that, let's say, another YouTuber puts into editing, I'm confident that I could be just as good, but I don't designate my time to that. So then therefore, I'm not gonna be as good at editing. But that's only because I haven't committed to the hours that it took to get to that level of expertise. Do you get what I'm saying? Some of you guys will say, oh, I'm not good with technology. It's not that you're not good with technology. You use technology every day. You use your phone every day. You use a computer every day. You use your freaking car every day, right? These cars are like damn near computers at this point. But it's just the fact that you haven't spent enough time using a camera, right? So like when I first got this, I was like, oh, well, I'm not gonna be able to use this. I'm not good at this. I don't know anything about it, because I haven't used one. But now I use it every day. So I don't sit around and say, oh, I'm not good with cameras. No, it's because I put in the time and the hours to learn it and master it. So now I'm good with my camera. But when you constantly are talking about what you're not good at or what you can't do, you are literally believing that and you're accepting that, and then you're not making any progress. So no more I can'ts. No more I can'ts. We're not doing that no more. No more I can'ts, all right? We're not doing that. Hey, you guys, we are talking about how to turn our 9 to 5 into creating content so that you can live a happy life doing what it is that you want to do. We're talking about the beauty of content creation and how it literally changed my life. And I wanted to change yours as well. A lot of times we overthink and overanalyze every single thing that we do. We're so worried about how others are going to see us and what our family's going to think. And we allow that to hold us back from what it is that we really want to do. But I'm here to tell you that being a full-time content creator was the best decision I ever made for myself. And there's so much freedom involved. Now let's talk about some of the cons that I think some people don't think about. That's true, that's my problem now. Which part is your problem? So first and foremost, the biggest thing is, I think a lot of times people think that, at least I used to until I got into it. And this applies with a lot of stuff, not just creating content. But a lot of times we think that it's just easy. I used to think that too. I used to think that all you had to do was just post one 20-second video and that was it. You can go do whatever you want to do for the rest of the day. Now let me tell you something. That might work for some, but that's not majority. Creating content is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, okay? And I'm not telling you that to make you afraid. I'm telling you that so you can be prepared and ready for it. It's a lot of work. It is a full-time job. It is a full-time job. Now, maybe it can't start off as a full-time job for you. That's fine. You keep it as a part-time job. And as you get more efficient, meaning you get better and faster at stuff, over time, as your channels grow, as your platforms grow, eventually it'll become your full-time job. And then maybe your full-time job will just become your part-time job. And then your part-time job now will become no job, right? But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I plan my day around YouTube, okay? And I want you to understand that with anything that you want to do, you have to be ready to do it. It's not going to manifest for you if you don't put in the work. So if you're constantly coming up with excuses, just know that you're not going to get the results that you want because you're sitting around making excuses all day. Yes, if you work a full-time job, you may not have the same number of hours that I have to get something done. That's true. But you start with what you have. So if you have 2 hours, then you start with 2 hours, right? If you have 4 hours, then you start with 4 hours. Just start with what you have. And the time that you do have, that's all you do. No TV going on in the background, no talking on the phone while you're doing what you're doing. Just strict focusing on the content, creating it, editing it, posting it. That's all you're focused on. Because when you start focusing on other stuff, you're actually shortening the amount of time that you do have because you're distracted. You're not really locked in 100%. Okay? So I think that's a big misconception that people have that, oh, well, it's really not that hard. And it's not hard in the sense of once you get used to the flow, you just move in. But it's hard because a lot of times too, especially when you're first starting, you're gonna have to say no to a lot of stuff. Are you ready for that? If you claim, like if you really claim that you want to be a content creator, like this is really what you want to do, like you know for a fact in your heart, like you want to be a content creator and there's no change in your mind, you're gonna have to say no to a lot of stuff. Those happy hours that you might go to every week, the binge watching of the Netflix movies, right? The phone calls with the girls gossiping about nothing. You have to start saying no to a lot of that stuff because you only get 24 hours a day. So the question is, how are you going to use your 24 hours? What are you going to do to reach the goals that you want to reach for yourself, right? So people don't talk about that. And then one thing too, I want you to realize some of your favorite creators, what I want you to realize is you probably, maybe you did, maybe you've been following them for years, but a lot of times too, some of your favorite creators, you found them when they were up and coming. So who you're comparing yourself to is someone, or who you aspire to be like is someone who's already been doing it for 7 years or 10 years, right? So now you're going into content creation trying to be like them, but you can't be like them because the like them that you're looking at is 7 years or 10 years in. You're not looking at them from when they first started however long ago, when they didn't have the fancy camera, when they didn't have the nice apartment, when they didn't have the lavish things that you see them with today, or when they didn't have the hundreds of thousands of subscribers that they have today, right? So I'm telling you this because I want you to only focus on your journey and not compare what you see others doing and how successful they are to your journey, because you don't have the same number of hours that they do, okay? That makes sense? I hope I'm making sense. Let me know in the chat if you feeling what I'm saying. Because comparison is a thief of joy, and we can't do that. If you're just starting, you're just starting. And it just is what it is. But keep going. You'll get there, right? You ain't got no choice because you're gonna be doing it every day, so you don't have no choice but to get there. Because you're doing it every day, you're gonna have a lot of practice. You're gonna have a lot of hours. You're gonna have a lot of working hours. That's the only way you're gonna get better at anything is through repetition, right? The example we gave with walking, the example we gave with reading. Now you do these things effortlessly because you have hours and hours and hours and hours of doing it, right? Let me know what you guys think about that. So listen, we talked about, what did we talk about? We talked about finding a niche and how to start discovering what type of content we want to create for ourselves. We talked about overthinking. We talked about not caring what people think, and that's what's holding us back a lot of the times, right? We talked about not being perfect because that doesn't even exist. So we're chasing something that doesn't exist. We talked about having thick skin, not just in reality, like with people that you know, but also on the internet, because I'm here to tell you the trolls be trolling, okay? That really does exist, but you're gonna have thick skin and you're not gonna let what others think affect who you are, and what you're doing for yourself, right? They don't live the life you live. They don't know where you come from. And they're just internet gangsters. That's just what they are, right? And we talked about how you're going to have to be consistent and you're going to have to really put in the hours if you really want to get it done. You put in the hours for work, so now you need to put in some hours for yourself, okay? So only posting a video once every 2 weeks is not going to cut it, especially when you're first starting. True or false? You don't just go to work once every 2 weeks. You go to work every day. That's how you're so good at your job, because you do it every day. So if you want to get good at creating content, you have to do it every day, especially when you're first starting, because you got to get used to doing it, right? But you can turn your 9 to 5 into creating content. That is true. These platforms are paying. Instagram is paying, YouTube is paying, TikTok is paying, Threads is paying. They are paying. And then you're also going to build a community along the way. You're going to interact, you're going to comment, you're going to go live. And then you can also sell your community stuff, right? Maybe you're doing makeup and you want to sell, maybe you have some new lip gloss or something. You have a product that you want to sell for that. They're going to love and support you and they're going to buy it, right? So there are so many streams of income that come into place when you're a content creator. That's how you're gonna replace your 9 to 5 with creating content. And people do it every single day. They're no more special than you. They just took the time to do it. They didn't allow their distractions to stop them from what it is that they wanted to do. They know how to say no and come in the house so they can work on their craft. They know that even when they're not getting the results that they want, they're going to keep going because they know that eventually it's going to work. They don't give up. Are you monetized outside of YouTube? I had to leave for a work call, so pardon me if you can answer. Yes, so I have a total of 3 YouTube channels and they're monetized. I'm monetized on Threads and I'm monetized on Instagram, okay? So there is online money out here. These platforms really are paying, okay? So I just want you guys to understand that if you really want to do this, you have to really want to do it. I only want to help people who are all in. I'm not good at that half-assedness, okay? Listen, I said I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you because I'm an all-in type of girl. Now, you may not be all in. You might be kind of on the fence with it, like, I don't know what she's talking about. Listen, and that's neither here nor there. That's between you and God. But I only want to help people who are all in because I know that you are fully committed and you really want to change your life, right? If you're half in, that means you're going to have a lot of excuses. You're the person that says they're going to do something, but you don't do it, right? Not because you don't want to do it, but because you don't really want to do it. Okay? That's the problem. There's a lot of people who they kind of want to. It sounds cool. Like I said, when I thought about being a nurse, like before I shadowed the nurse, I was like, yeah, being a nurse sounds cool. Like, yeah, who doesn't want to be an RN? Like, what? That's like the best job ever, duh. And then when I did it, it was like, oh no. You're like that, right? You might be like that. The idea of being a content creator sounds really cool. It sounds glamorous. It sounds like fun. It sounds like you have high status. Like that's what it sounds like. So you're like, yeah, I want to be a full-time content creator. Who doesn't? But you might just not really be about that life, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not sitting here saying there is. But what I want is for people who know that that's really what they want to do. They really want to create content. They really want to eventually become full-time content creators. They are ready to put in the work. They're hungry for it. They believe in it. They know that there's money on these platforms. And they know that if they put in the work, they can get there too. They know this and no one can convince them otherwise, right? That's how I was. I was all in with it. Even when I was tired, I was still producing content. Even before you guys knew who I was, I was still doing content. Even when I was posting on TikTok. So TikTok is my newest platform. So what I have had the least. I've only had this TikTok account for a little over a year. I was only getting the 100 views. Some of the videos wasn't even getting 100 views. Some of them was getting like 20 views. And I'm like, I thought they were supposed to give you at least 100. Where'd the standard 100 views go? Some of the videos weren't even getting that. But I still kept going. I still kept pushing. I stopped looking at the views. Because when I started looking at the views, it would mess with my head. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to look because I don't want it to subconsciously stop me from being consistent with it by trying to talk myself out of it by saying it's not working anymore. You're very welcome. So I would just post and get off. I wouldn't even come back to TikTok till I was trying to post again. Because I didn't want the views or lack thereof to mess with my head, right? And sometimes that's just the mindset you gotta be in. Until you create like 500 pieces of content, I don't think you have any room to feel entitled to any view. Because that's really what it is, a sense of entitlement, in case you didn't know. Listen, I might be ruffling some feathers, but I'm telling the truth. A lot of us are entitled and we don't even know it. We feel like we deserve 1 million views. For whatever reason, I don't know. But that's what we feel like. My TikTok views are about 600-ish per video with about 5 videos. That's great. That's great. And see, that's how you have to look at stuff. Because when I started looking at it like, well, do I even know 100 people? No. 100 people took time out of their day to watch something that I made. That's crazy. I don't even know 10 people, to be honest. But 100 people watched? Wow. Like, do you even know what 100 people looks like in front of you? No, but that's a lot of people. But you get so wrapped up in the hundreds and thousands of views that some of these creators get that you stop being thankful for what you got because you're focused on what they got. Which is why I said we got to be locked into what we're doing, not what everyone else is doing. That's the only way you're going to stay focused and consistent, by focusing on what you got going on, okay? And your progress, right? Especially with YouTube, because with YouTube, you get paid through retention. So a video might have 100 views, right? But maybe your audience, if it was a 20-minute video, maybe your audience watched 12 minutes of it on average. That's great. That's amazing. That however many views you got, people sat through 12 minutes on average? 12 minutes? That's phenomenal. But some of you guys will look at it as, well, I only got 100 views. But most of your audience sat through it for 12 minutes. Do you know how short of an attention span the world has today? And out of those 100 people that watched, they sat through 12 minutes? That's way more valuable than a video that has 50,000 views and people only hung around for 20 seconds. But some of us don't even think about it like that because we're so focused on the views. You're not even taking the time to analyze what that really means. Exactly. Yes, this is true. And I'm telling you this because this is what I used to do. I do what I'm supposed to do and don't focus on numbers. So my content is gold. The people will come. Yes, as long as you keep showing up, they will come. Like, it's going to happen. It has no choice but to happen because you're showing up every single day. So I just wanted to make that clear. All right? I wanted to make that very, very, very clear for you guys. We got to focus on stuff that's different than what average people are focusing on. All right? Because it's not just about the numbers. It's about your community. It's about being able to produce the type of content that you want to create. and having a community of people who support you for that, and they love your content because of the value that you're giving them, whatever that is. And then just being yourself. And I think the easiest way to learn how to be yourself, yes, a lot of times we have to learn how to be ourselves because a lot of us don't even know who we really are. The easiest way to figure out who you are, especially in front of the camera, I'm gonna give you a tip, just write this down. Just start recording yourself. Like, see how I'm on live right now? I would just take my phone, hit record, and just talk. My mind could go a million different places in 5 minutes, but I'm literally just talking. By doing this over and over again, you lose the awkwardness. You don't start to overanalyze everything that you say. You learn how to just go with it. This is all practicing and doing repetitions, right? Because the more you do something, the easier it gets. I'd like to support your other channels as well. Is it fitness? Yeah, so it's fitness and weight loss. My channels are linked to my profile. So you'll see that if you scroll down where it says other channels. So you guys just remember that, okay? The more you do something, the better it gets naturally. Even if you're not trying to get better, it's just going to get better because you're doing it all of the time. Hi, you're just doing it all of the time, all right? So this is what I wanted to share with you guys here. I think we had a good talk today, y'all. And again, if y'all have any questions, this is the time to talk, ask, let's converse, let's talk about this. I really want you guys to lock in because you can do this. All right, so TikTok and YouTube. What I want you guys to do is click on my profile picture at the top. YouTube, you guys have to go to my channel so you can click on it. But this very first link here is content creation mastery class with creation strategies to grow your platforms, okay? I have been a full-time content creator for 4.5 years now. I don't have a job. This is my job. This is how I make my money. I create the type of content I want to create and I pay my bills accordingly, right? And you can have that life too. It is in reach. There's hundreds of thousands of creators that are doing the exact same thing. It's not out of reach, okay? So what I did was I created a mastery class. You're gonna get 2 live webinars. So the first one is gonna be this Sunday, and the next one will be the Sunday after that, right? So you're gonna get 2, and of course you'll get the recordings as well. So I already marked it down. It was $4.99, but I'm gonna give it to you guys for $149, okay? You're gonna get the 2 live webinars where you guys can ask questions. We're gonna dive deep into how to create content, how to build your platforms, how to create capturing content, how to be consistent with creating content. Literally every single thing that you could possibly think about when it comes to creating content, I got you covered. I literally got you covered from start to finish. You are going to be a master at creating content and operating these platforms, okay? I'm gonna tell you guys how to grow your Instagram. I'm gonna tell you guys how to grow your TikTok. I'm gonna tell you guys how to grow your YouTube. I'm gonna tell you guys how to grow your threads. I'm gonna tell you guys how to recycle your content so it doesn't feel like you're doing all of this work every single day. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of work, but we're also gonna be recycling and repurposing our content, right? I'm gonna teach you guys all of that. I'm gonna teach you guys about the basic equipment. I don't want you guys to start spending a whole bunch of money on equipment until you start making money on content, or until you start making money on content. Your phone and a standard ring light will do. As you grow, as you make more money, then you reinvest. Then you get some better mics. Then you can upgrade and get a better camera or a better phone. But we're not starting there. Because the first place I want you guys to start is with growing the platforms, learning how to create the content, and actually being confident in creating the content that you're making and being consistent with it, okay? You're also going to get access to my Telegram room. I'm gonna be giving you guys 6 weeks worth of mentorship. So if you purchase, you'll get 6 weeks to ask me any type of questions that you guys want. You'll also get Telegram access into the Telegram room. So I'm dropping gems in there every single day. This will be a place where you guys can ask questions. Remember, we're all on different time zones too. So you might get up, you might be Eastern Standard Time like myself, and you might see a whole bunch of questions and then you're like, whoa, but that's because there's people in other parts of the world who are awake at different times, right? But it's a community of other people who are also trying to become content creators, all of the things, all right? You're also going to get my content creation ebook. I'm gonna teach you guys how to create a niche, how to stay consistent, tips and tricks that I've used. I created an ebook for that, all right? And as an added bonus, you guys, I will promote you on my platforms. So as long as your content is, what's the word? Doesn't go against terms of service for these platforms, I will put you on my Instagram. I will put you on my YouTube, okay? And I will put you on my TikTok so that you can also grow. As long as it's within Instagram's, Instagram is definitely the funniest platform. All right, so as long as it's appropriate for Instagram and stuff like that, I will promote you. I'll share you on my story. I'll tell my followers to follow you. We can go live on Instagram if you want to. I will promote you because I have no problem with that. And I think that by getting some followers under your belt, it's gonna make you feel more confident in what it is that you're doing, all right? So again, my Instagram has like 110,000 followers. I have about 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. Threads is at like 25,000. And TikTok, we're almost at 8,000. So you'll definitely get exposed to my community of people, and it'll kickstart your platform for those of you guys who are just starting, right? And last but not least, I'm going to provide you guys with templates for your YouTube thumbnails for those of y'all who want to get on YouTube. Also providing you guys with some Instagram thumbnails for those of y'all who want to start on Instagram. It's up to you. But I am going to encourage that you guys grow all of your channels, all of your platforms, not just one. Grow them all, right? I'm also going to give you guys ChatGPT prompts. So if you guys are having trouble with creating captions, if you don't know wordplay yet, you're still, just playing around with different stuff, I have prompts in here from ChatGPT that'll help you create beautiful captions and captivating thumbnail titles and things like that to get people to click and tune into you. And then you'll also get a list of top niches. So if you're still not sure what kind of content you want to create, then I got some niches that are trending, and it might even just inspire you. Like maybe you didn't even think about fitness, and you're like, well, I do work out all the time. Now you know. You can create content on fitness if that's true to you, okay? And then you're also gonna get, where are we at? There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. You're gonna get industry secrets to create content in under 60 minutes and guides on how to create content consistently. So it's a whole bunch of stuff from start to finish, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or expert, I got you covered. I'm telling you guys everything that I've learned to save you guys time, okay? So again, I've marked it down. It was $4.99, but while we're on live, it's $149. You're gonna get all of those things. And remember, the first webinar is this Sunday, which is January 11th at 7 p.m. If you're on a different time zone, that's fine. You're still gonna get a copy of it. And then the second webinar is January 15th. No, January 18th. So this Sunday and then the following Sunday, okay? So it'll be a total of 2 that you're gonna get. And this is also the time where you guys can ask more questions if you want, because it's a live webinar. So tune in, be live, listen, be ready to write notes, ask questions, all the things, and you do get that free promotion as well on my platforms once you get started, okay? So I will keep it marked down for about 10 minutes. I'll set a timer for us. Timer, 10 minutes, okay? And you can put it on Afterpay, you can put it on Klarna, the choice is yours, just 4 easy payments. But I want you guys to lock in. Like I said, this is real. Internet money is real. This is not fake. This is really what's going on here, okay? And this really can be you, right? Now, if you guys want even more help, don't forget that you're gonna get that Telegram room too. So make sure you guys have Telegram. If you don't have it, download it, because I'm in there dropping gems. And once you purchase, you get sent the Telegram link. Make sure you join right away so I can add you. I have to add everybody individually because it is a private community, all right? But I'm dropping gems in there, reminding you to post, reminding you not to overthink. I'll even be sharing things that I've been doing that have been working, because these algorithms are constantly changing too. Like YouTube has drastically changed since I first started on YouTube. When I first started on YouTube, what was working then is a completely different game than what is working now. YouTube is definitely pushing smaller creators now, getting smaller creators more views. That's big. That's big. That's huge, because YouTube was not doing that before. And honestly, my smaller channels are actually performing better than my bigger channel just because of the fact that the algorithm changed, okay? Same with Instagram. The way that you grow Instagram today is completely different than what it was 2 years ago when I was on Instagram, right? So things are constantly changing and evolving, And I spend a lot of time learning these things so that I can create better content for my audience, but then so I can also pass that information down to you guys so that you guys can create better content as well, okay? And I just want you guys to remember that you are in control of what you choose to post. You're in control of what you choose to share. You're in control of everything. When you run your own business, when you are a content creator, you get to decide what you want to showcase the world and what you want to keep private. All right. If you don't want to let everybody know about what's going on in your personal life, you don't have to. I actually don't. Right. But if you do, you have the freedom to do that as well. That's the beauty with content creation, because it's literally what you want to do. And there's no right or wrong answer for any of it. Okay. Do you guys have any questions for me? I have about 5 vlogs I've recorded since October and never edited or posted. But the next week I'll be editing and posting them and title them as throwbacks. I refuse to sabotage myself. Yes, and that's the thing, like, that's the beauty of creating content is you get to post the stuff when you want to post it. Like, there's stuff that I've been sitting on for weeks that I have just posted or I still haven't posted, right? It's always good to have a backlog of stuff in case you get sick, or maybe you're feeling unmotivated, you don't really know like what to talk about, maybe you need like a little break, or you're going on vacation, maybe you have a family emergency, like whatever it is, that's why I tell you guys to record every day, because over time, as you just stack and stack and stack more content, you will always have a backlog of stuff to post, so you don't feel so overwhelmed. So you're not like freaking out, like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna post. Da-da-da. Well, you have so much stuff that you haven't posted yet. Or a lot of times what we think is because we've already posted something, we can't post it again. That's not true. I repost stuff all the time that when I first started and it didn't have any views, you know, I'll repost it because now I know the people who are tuned in now, they definitely haven't seen it, right? But that content is still good. That's still good content. So I'll repost it, or, you know, I'll refurbish it, whatever. Like, yes, that's real. And then a lot of times too, a lot of people aren't even gonna remember, unfortunately, like you remember because it's your content, but people aren't even gonna remember what you posted a month ago. So that's even more content that you can throw in and, you know, just reuse. So I love that. I love that. We have 5.5 more minutes. Do you guys have any more questions for me? Definitely feel free to ask. Don't be shy. Ask away. This is the time. And also let me know in the chat what made you want to be a content creator. Like, what was it for you that was like, okay, yeah, I think I want to do this. Like, I would love to know. So I told you guys, for me, it was a matter of not liking my job, right? I hated my job. I felt trapped there. I hated living that whole Monday to Friday life, like dreading Monday, being so excited for Friday. I hated that. I absolutely hated it. And I knew that not everyone lived like that, right? So that was my story. But what is yours? Like, what made you decide you want to be a content creator? Are you still on the fence with it? Thank you. Are you still on the fence with it? You're still not sure? Definitely share. Don't be shy. Let's talk about it. Just so I can see, you know, what's been going on in your head. She said, freedom. I feel you. I feel you on the freedom. I feel you on it. Freedom is big. I think freedom is underrated. Going through cancer treatment and being alone. I'm sorry to hear that. And you know, you could document that. You could literally, people love journeys, you guys. That's one thing that I've learned when it comes to creating content. People love journeys. If you felt comfortable enough, you could definitely start recording your experience. You know, if you want to keep it private, of course. But if you feel comfortable enough, that would be such a beautiful journey to share with the world, because there are so many people who are also going through that, right? So, you know, think about it, pray about it. Obviously, don't let it like mess up your recovery. Like, if it's just too much, it's just too much. But if it's not, you know, consider documenting that and putting that on YouTube. Like, I think that would do really well. I really do. I hope you have a speedy recovery, of course. So yeah, like, Yes, I really do. People, you guys, people love journeys. People love journeys. Don't think that you have to be at a certain place in order to start recording content. Like, don't think you have to be a certain place in your life to start recording content. That is not true at all. Okay. So, if you're on a journey to weight loss, like how I am, I've been documenting that whole journey, what I've been eating, my workouts, my mental health through the whole process. Like, people really tune into that. If you're on a journey of being a content creator, document that. Like, people love journeys. So, that's definitely something to consider. We have just a few more minutes, you guys. We are 2.5 minutes. There's still time to take advantage of the sale. I did mark it down. It was $4.99. I brought it down to $149. Remember, you're gonna get 2 masterclass webinars. We're gonna go over on this Sunday and the following Sunday, all the tips, tricks, things that I've learned in my content creation journey. You're going to get access to the Telegram room, 6 weeks of mentorship with me. I'll be watching your content, giving you my feedback, all of the things. You'll also get my content creation ebook. You'll also get my content creation ebook. You will also, it's so many things, honey. Let me make sure I'm telling you guys everything. You guys are gonna get thumbnails for YouTube. For those of you guys who haven't started YouTube or you don't know what kind of thumbnails to use, you're gonna get YouTube thumbnails. You're going to get Instagram Reel thumbnails. You're gonna get ChatGPT prompts. If you don't know how to write captions, if you're not sure what kind of captions are going to attract the right viewers, I got you covered there. You're also going to get a list of niches that are trending and doing really well in 2025. If you still need some more advice and ideas on what kind of content to create. You're also going to get the list of platforms to start creating on. There are so many social media platforms, you guys. So I've broken down the platforms and why, so you can choose which ones are a good fit for you. And you might start with some and then realize that's not the platform you want to be on and switch to another. That's totally fine. That happens all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. And you'll also get free promotion on my social media platforms as well to help grow your audience and kickstart your social media journey. Okay. So lots and lots and lots of things for you. Okay. You got 50 seconds to take advantage of the sale. All right. So I have marked it down tremendously just because I really want you guys to get started on your journey. And remember, you do get that 6 weeks of mentorship. So did I lose YouTube? I had a call coming in. Womp, womp, womp. I think I lost the YouTube community. Dang, how is it that I have my phone do not disturb and it still got disturbed? Where do they do that at? Where do they do that at? All right, you guys, I lost YouTube, but the timer is about to go off anyways. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me, YouTube.